Hello everyone and welcome back to APWC. तो फाइनली प्रभास अन्ना की कल की देख ली and honestly saying it blew my mind. This will be a long video and it may have spoilers as well. So sit back, relax and without wasting any time, let's begin. Ready. नाग अश्विन, यू ब्यूटी, व्हाट हैव यू क्रिएटेड? ये क्या बना दिया भाई ने? बंदे की विजन एक ऐसी हाइट पे थी कि इंडियन सिनेमा को एलिवेट होना पड़ा. नाग अश्विन शट एवरीवन अप हु सेड कि इंडियन सिनेमा कभी हॉलीवुड लेवल की वीएफएक्स और सीजीआई नहीं कर सकता. तेलुगु सिनेमा इंडस्ट्री हैज मास डायरेक्टर्स like S.S. Rajamouli, Prashant Verma, and now Nag Ashwin joins that list in his third venture itself. The world building is amazing and definitely looks grand on the big screen. At times it did remind me of Dune, Mad Max, Blade Runner 2049, Star Wars and Rebel Moon. But you know what? Fuck that. This is Indian cinema and I don't care where Nag Ashwin has taken his inspiration from because it was mind-blowing. In fact, the entire Mahabharata sequence is created in such a wonderful way. The VFX, the color coding, the de-aging, the dialogues, everything is perfect.
It's perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
और मैं तो ये भी कहूंगा कि इतने बारीकी से बनाए गए हैं वो वाले शॉट्स कि मेरा तो मन कर रहा था नाग अश्विन साहब को ये बोलूं कि आप महाभारत भी डायरेक्ट करो.
I wonder what Nag Ashwin could have done with a script like Adipurush. Just saying. In fact, the entire animated montage, which covers almost all major events that have happened so far, was great. And you see Ashwathama, who is a devotee of Lord Shiva, calling Keshava to come as soon as possible. We see 6,000 years after the epic battle of Mahabharata in Kurukshetra. Out of 7 Chiranjeevis, Ashwathama is one of the Chiranjeevis alive and he is there to protect Kalki. He gets cursed by Shri Krishna with immortality for his attempt to kill Uttara's unborn child. And the only way to get over the curse is to protect the 10th and final avatar of Vishnu. Now, in 2898 AD, there is a complex which has all the amenities like fresh water, food and beautiful landscape. Unlike that outside of complex which is just barren land. Bhairava wants to go to the complex but doesn't have enough units and SUM-80 or Sumati is his only ticket. Now whether Ashwathama is successful in protecting Kalki which is supposedly in Sumati's womb or will Bhairava get a chance to go to complex? That's the entire plot of the second half. The first half does have fallacies, no doubt, with forced humor and unnecessary cameos. It takes time to set up this world, but the second half is a complete banger. Especially the interval block, climax and post-credit scene. Fucking goosebumps. If you're not familiar with a sci-fi post-apocalyptic dystopian setup, then there are a lot of films. But if you want to wrap it quickly, then watch 2 episodes of Bujji and Bhairava on Amazon Prime. It is animated, but it's quite helpful in understanding as to how the entire world in 2898 AD looks like. यहाँ पे spoilers की पूरी गुंजाइश है. So if you want to avoid spoilers, then skip to the next segment in 3, 2, 1. Prabhas Garu finally makes a comeback as Bhairava. I spoke about his film's post-success of Bahubali in my Salar review and how his comeback was imminent. Salar was still a decent flick, but here Prabhas has changed the game again. He plays 2 roles, Bhairava in 2898 AD and Karna in 3102 BC. प्रभास अन्ना ने 1 साल पहले आदिपुरुष का घाव दिया था और अभी कल्कि के साथ पूरी मरहम पट्टी करके वो घाव भर दिया है. This simply means that an actor like Prabhas needs a mass director like S.S. Rajamouli, Prashant Neel or Nag Ashwin.
Home, you're coming to my room. Home.
Amitabh Bachchan, at the age of 81, is putting a shame to the Gen Z millennials. He plays the character of Ashwathama and without any doubt he has done justice to it. In fact, there are moments when you forget that Prabhas is the main hero of this film, as AB steals the show whenever he is in the frame. AB's screen presence is sufficient enough to say that he is definitely a living legend. Now, from one legend, let's move on to another legend. Ulaganayagan Kamal Hassan plays the character of Supreme Yaskin. It's pretty brief and can be considered as an extended cameo, but his voice modulation and the avatar is enough to showcase his intent. He will definitely have a substantial role in the sequel, and it will be interesting to see that. In the post-credit scene, from just one extracted serum drop, he transforms into a superhuman with multiple arms and holds Arjuna's bow, Gandhiv. Deepika's character, SUM-80 or Sumati, is prophesied to be the mother of Kalki. I'm genuinely happy that her character had purpose and depth, especially in the interval block. Apart from that, there isn't any scope for her character to shine. Disha Patni's character was unnecessary, especially that song sequence. It just added few more minutes to the film, which could have been easily trimmed a little, and it wouldn't have affected the film's storyline. There are numerous cameos. Vijay Deverakonda as Arjuna was pretty good and solid. In fact, I would like to see more of that character in the sequel. Dulquer Salmaan as Captain, who is Bhairava's guardian. I won't be surprised if the sequel showcases his character having links with Mahabharata. Mrunal Thakur as Divya, who is wrongly assumed to be Kalki's mother and dies quite early in the beginning. SS Rajamouli as a bounty hunter and Bhairava's rival. There was a good joke about how if SS Rajamouli catches you, he won't leave you for 5 years. We also see Ram Gopal Verma as Chintu, a street food vendor, which made no sense, but okay. संतोष नारायण के BGM पे तो दिल आ गया, स्पेशली व्हेन इट वाज बीइंग प्लेड इन द थिएटर्स. मूवी को जब मोमेंटम की जरूरत थी, वहां पे संतोष भाई के BGM ने कमाल कर दिया. Prabhas needs grand music for his stature, whether it was M.M. Kirwani for Bahubali, Ravi Basrur for Salar, and now Santosh Narayan for Kalki. The grandiosity matters. Verdict: I'll happily give Kalki 2898 AD 4 out of 5 stars. For Nag Ashwin's vision, the supremely talented cast, the BGM, the storyline, the VFX and CGI, and the proper handling of Hindu cultural history and mythology. There are some films that are made for the big screen, and Kalki 2898 AD is definitely one of them. Phone, laptop या TV में मज़ा नहीं आएगा for sure. Made on a budget of 600 crores and touted to be India's most expensive film. In just 3 days, it has grossed close to 415 crores. If everything goes in the right direction, then maybe Kalki 2898 AD will be this year's first 1000 crore film. And maybe it will surpass last year's blockbuster films as well. It's films like these that take our Indian cultural history, mythology, and successfully blend it into a fictional setup. And as an audience, we have to celebrate that. That's it for this video, guys. Comment on your thoughts on Kalki 2898 AD, and I'll see you guys in the next one. और हाँ, अगर वीडियो अच्छा लगे तो सब्सक्राइब कर देना दोस्तों. मिलते हैं अगली बार. Till then, bye.